I stood up in a courtroom, looked my brother dead in the eye, and told a judge that my mother didn't know what she was signing when she cut me out of her will. And yeah, I know exactly how that sounds. But here's the thing, I'm still not sure I was wrong. My name's not important. What matters is this. My mother, Diane, passed away 14 months ago after a 3-year decline with dementia. She was 68 when she was diagnosed, 71 when she died. I'm her daughter, Reese. My brother is Marcus. We are 2 years apart, and for most of our lives we were actually close. I want to be clear about that because it matters later. When mom first got sick, I was the one who lived 40 minutes away. Marcus lived across the country. So I became the one who drove her to appointments, managed her medications, dealt with the facility paperwork when she could no longer live alone. I'm not saying that to build a case, I'm saying it because it's just what happened. Marcus visited twice a year, sent money when he could, and called every Sunday. He was doing what he could do from where he was. I never resented him for it, not then. Mom had a will, an old one from when our dad was still alive, that split everything evenly between us. The house, whatever savings she had, her jewelry. Simple, fair, what you'd expect. Nobody had touched it in years because nobody thought they needed to. Then, 8 months before she died, while she was already in memory care, already having days where she didn't recognize the nurses, a new will appeared. Signed, notarized, legally executed. Everything to Marcus. I got nothing, not even her rings. I found out the way you always find out about things like this, too late, from someone who assumed I already knew. The estate attorney's assistant called to confirm my address for correspondence. She mentioned, almost in passing, that I was listed as a notice party, not a beneficiary. I asked her to repeat that. She did. I called Marcus that same night, and I want to be fair to him here. He picked up. He didn't dodge me. He said, I know this is a shock. I wanted to tell you in person. And I said, tell me what exactly? That you had mom sign a new will while she was living in a memory care unit? And he said, and I'm quoting this as close as I can, she wanted to. She told me she felt guilty I'd been helping financially and she wanted to make it right. I asked when this happened. He said about 8 months before she died. I asked who the notary was. He said a mobile notary he'd hired. I asked if mom's doctor was present, if anyone from the facility was present, if there was any cognitive assessment done that day. Silence. Then, she was having a good day, Reese. She knew what she was doing. A good day, that's the phrase he used. A good day. I went back and looked at her medical records from that period. Her physician had documented moderate to severe cognitive impairment. The facility notes from that week described her as confused about the year, occasionally not recognizing family members. Her doctor, when I reached out, said she would not have certified mom as having testamentary capacity at that stage. I contacted a probate attorney. She said I had a case, not a guaranteed win, but a real one. She said courts take these things seriously when there's documented cognitive decline and no independent witness to confirm the testator's intent. Marcus called me when he got the court filing. He was not calm. He said, you're dragging mom's name through a courtroom. You're calling her incompetent in public records. Do you understand what you're doing? And I said, I'm saying she was taken advantage of. I'm not saying she was stupid. I'm saying she was sick. He said, you're saying it was me. You're saying I manipulated a dying woman. And I didn't answer that because honestly, I didn't know how to. The thought was there. I just hadn't said it out loud yet. The hearing was not a trial. It was a formal probate challenge, which means documents, depositions, testimony, but it was public. And that's where I made the choice that I genuinely cannot decide if I regret. Marcus's attorney asked if we could keep the proceedings sealed or handle it through mediation. My attorney said that was possible. And I said no. I said I wanted it on the record, all of it. The timeline, the medical notes, the fact that a mobile notary had executed a will for a woman with documented dementia with no physician present. My aunt, my mother's sister, stopped speaking to me after that. She said, your mother would be humiliated. My cousin sent me a text that just said, wow. Marcus's wife called me and said, you just blew up the family over money. And maybe that's true. Maybe it is about money, at least partly. The house alone is worth a lot. I'm not going to pretend otherwise. But here's what I keep coming back to. If Marcus is right, if mom was lucid, if she made a free and informed choice, then the process should hold up. A court should be able to confirm that. The only reason to avoid scrutiny is if the scrutiny would find something. The judge ultimately ruled in my favor on the capacity question. The new will was set aside. We defaulted back to the original split. Marcus hasn't spoken to me since. My aunt sends Christmas cards to his kids and not mine. A few weeks after the ruling, I drove past Mom's old house, our house, and just sat in the car in front of it for a while. I don't know what I was looking for. Some feeling that I'd done the right thing, maybe. It didn't come. The thing is, I genuinely don't know if Marcus knew what he was doing. I don't know if he sat down with a woman who wasn't fully there and walked her through a document, or if she really did have a lucid moment and express a real wish and he was just trying to honor it. I will never know. And I chose a courtroom over that uncertainty, over my brother, over whatever was left of the family, because I decided the process mattered more than keeping the peace. So, am I wrong? Did I do the right thing by my mother, or did I just use her memory as a weapon in a fight that was really about me? I won in court, I lost my brother, I lost half my family. And I still wake up some mornings and stare at the ceiling wondering which one of us mom would be more disappointed in, him for what he may have done, or me for how loud I made it. So honestly, what would you have done? Comment below.